Friends, under lesson number 7, metals and non-metals. Yesterday and day before yesterday, means last two lectures inside, we had studied the properties of metals and non-metals. Okay, so if we do the comparative study of metals of non-metals properties, so it is very easy. They have luster. They means metals have luster, non-metals do not have luster. Metals are hard, non-metals are brittle. Metals are ductile, malleable, and non-metals are non-ductile, not non-malleable. Then metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Means these properties we had studied. And metals show the property of sonority, and non-metals do not show the property of sonority. Metals have high melting and boiling points. Non-metals have low melting and boiling points. Then metals density is more than that of the water, and the non-metals density is less than that of the water. And these properties we had studied. Okay, and here for these properties some exceptions are there, and that exceptions you have to learn, because in the exam these exceptions only are coming in the odd man out. Otherwise in fill in the blanks inside only inside they will ask you such a type of questions. Now we will see the next properties of the metalloids. Metalloids also we had seen, and yesterday we seen the property of what metals, chemical property of metal, and that property is electronic configuration. So what is the property of electronic configuration? All metals have, okay, how many? 1, 2 or 3 electrons in its outermost shell, otherwise valence shell. How many? 1, 2 or 3. Means all the metals, if you take any metal, if you do the electronic configuration, its outermost orbit has how many electrons? 1 or 2 or 3. This much only electrons are present in the metals. That is the first chemical property of the metals. Now second, the formation of ions. How ions are formed, that we will study now. If you see here, you will notice that the metals have a tendency to lose their electrons, valence electron. As you know that, just I show the sodium's only structure I will show you here. This is our sodium. Okay, atomic number is how much? 11. So as you know that atomic number is 11, it has 11 electrons in there. What? 11 electrons, 11 protons and 11 neutrons in it. So the electronic configuration of sodium, if we see, then as you know that it's atomic sodium, that is chemical electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 1. So sodium here it is, it is nucleus of sodium. Here it is in the first orbit. How many electrons are there? 2 electrons are present. Okay, these two we had written here. Now in the second orbit, now the sodium Na, as you know that it's how many protons it has? It has how many protons? 11 protons are there. And how many neutrons? 11 neutrons are present in the what? Nucleus of the sodium. Now we will see about the electronic configuration. Okay, as you know that it has 2 electrons in the first orbit. So 2 electron in the first orbit. Suppose this is the first orbit, and in this orbit inside, so in this orbit inside there is a first orbit. Suppose this is the first orbit. Here it is 2 electrons are present. How many electrons are present in the first orbit? 2 electrons. Second orbit inside, how many electrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. These are the 8 electrons that is present in the second orbit. Now according to the molecular atomic number, how many electrons will come in the outermost orbit? 1 electron will come in the outermost orbit. So what happens at the time of what? Formation of a chemical bond, this sodium, okay, has to complete its octave to be stable. So for that, this sodium, what happens? For sodium, it is easy to donate 1 electron instead of taking 7 electron to complete the outermost orbit's octave. So what it does, that it donate 1 electron. This is the electron it donates, means it is giving to the other element. This electron they are donate, and then what is its electronic configuration? That is 2 8 means this outermost orbit get cancelled. So how many electrons are remaining here? That is the 8 electrons are octave get completed. It loses one electron, and that's why on how many electron it had lose? One electron. So here how to write this? Whenever we are writing the what it's a equation, sodium actually it has no charge because it is an atom. So 281 is electronic configuration. So after the chemical, after this what happens? It loses one electron. This is this electron 1e minus means this electron it loses. After losing one electron, how much electrons left with it? 2 8. Now if you see here, how many protons are there? If you see in the nucleus, I shown it already. That is, this is has 11 protons. These are, it has 11 protons. How many protons it has? That is 11 protons are there. Now electrons, protons are 11, and neutrons are 10 now. Yes, after donating one electron, after donating one electron, protons 11 and neutrons are how many? 10 are there. So as you know that protons have the positive charge and neutrons have the negative charge. Electron here we want, after donating one electron, it has how many electrons? 10 electrons with it, and protons 11 are there. Protons are positively charged, so on sodium we have to write one positive charge because it donates one electron, and because of it what happens? The positive charge is greater than the negative charge by 1. That's why 1 plus sign we have to give on the head of what? Sodium, and in that way we have to show this. Understood all of you? Now we will see the next one. Now we will study the magnesium. As you know that magnesium's atomic number is 12. So how many protons it has? It has how many protons? 12 protons it has. How many neutrons it has? 12 neutrons are there. And electronic configuration, how it will be? 2 8 1. Always the 2 electrons will enter in the first orbit. So this is the first electron, this is second. 2 electrons will enter in the first orbit. Now 8 electrons, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 electrons in the second orbit. Now how much left electrons? 2 electrons left in the outermost orbit. Okay, at the time of formation chemical bond with the other element, what happens? It donates this electron, 2 electrons which are there in the valence orbit, and after donating what happens? It will get how many protons is there with it? With magnesium 12 protons are there, and after donating these 2 electrons, if you see here magnesium and here 2 plus written, 2 protons 2 electrons, how many electrons are there with it? 10 electrons there with it, and because of it positive charge, protons have positive charge, it is more than the negative charge, that is the electron by 2. So here Mg plus plus, in that way we have to write Mg plus plus means 2 electron it had donated, and what it forms? After donating 2 electrons, it forms the magnesium ion, and it is denoted by Mg plus plus because it donates 2 electrons and positive charge get increased by 2. Okay, understand? In this way magnesium. Now next it is the aluminium. Okay, for aluminium also same. As you know that this is the atomic number of the aluminium is 30. Atomic number is 30. So first orbit, second orbit, this is second, and this is third orbit. Okay, and this is the this is its nucleus. So what we will do now? So here we will see its electronic configuration. So how many protons? As atomic number is 13, how many protons are there? 13 protons, 13 neutrons. That whatever I am doing this construction, you have to do in your notebook and you have to send me. Okay, this ion formation. So how many electrons will enter in the first orbit? That is 2 electrons will enter in the first orbit. This is 1, that is 2. Now 8 will enter in the second. 1 2 3 4, this one is 5 6 7 and the 8. Now remains 3. Now this is the valence shell, and inside it 3 electrons are remain. So whenever it forms a chemical bond with the other, then it donates 3 electrons, and that's why what happens, the aluminum get 3 positive charge, because the positive charge get increased by which, that is 3, because after donating the electrons, what is its electronic configuration, 2 8, and it loses 3 electrons, and that's why here on head of aluminum we have to give the 3 plus signs. Understood? In that way ions are formed by the donating electrons, and this is the property of metals, that is in the whenever they have a tendency to form the ions. So note this, all of you draw this magnesium, sodium and aluminum's figure, okay, and then you have to send me. Now what is that property? Metals have a tendency, just now we seen that metals have a tendency to lose their valence electron to form positively charged ion, and that is its cations. So it is called as a cations. If you see here any figure, just I explained also you also, sodium plus magnesium plus and aluminum Al3 plus, if this ion formation tendency, the formation of ions, this is the tendency of metals after donating the electrons, and these are called as a cations. Okay, and the non-metals have the property to take electrons and they forms the anion. Comparative, if you do the study, then you will understand metals donate electron and forms the cations. Next it is a reaction with the oxygen. As you know that all metals react with the oxygen and it forms the metal oxide. For example, as you know that our if the iron utensil is there, it falls, it is a if you see after some days, if it without coated, then that iron has a that reddish colored what or brownish color, what happens, layer on it, and that layer is nothing but rust means what, ferrous oxide, means metal, which is that metal Fe for ferrous, when it reacts with the oxygen, what it forms, Fe2O3, ferrous oxide it forms, means it's oxide it form. And metals combines with what, oxygen, and to form their oxide. So metals are there, they forms metals and oxygen, so it forms the metal oxide. So here when metal oxides, metals react with oxygen, what it forms, the metal oxide. So the metal oxides are basic in nature. Metal oxide react with an acid to form the salt and water. So here if you see in your home also, so some metals are there. For example, aluminum is there, iron span is there in our home. Okay, so when we keep some water will left inside it, what happens, a gray color, what happens, dot spot is formed on it. Okay, and it is because of the rusting of that iron, otherwise oxidation of the iron with the oxygen, that's why what happens, rust is formed. Same thing happen with the copper utensils are there at home, and that copper utensils, when they are combines with the oxygen which is present in the air, they form the copper oxide, and that is the called as a corrosion of the metals. So it is nothing but the reaction with the oxygen, means oxidation takes place, and that metal oxide, after formation of this metal oxide, what happens, that metal, when we burn magnesium's experiment also I shown you yesterday, when that magnesium's ribbon, when we burn it, it forms a white color powder. Okay, and that white color powder, what happens, it is nothing but the magnesium oxide, that is magnesium oxide, means MgO. That magnesium oxide inside, if we add the acid, what it forms, salt and the water it forms. Okay, means what it forms, MgCl2 plus H2O. In this way their oxides are formed. The reaction I will show you, metal oxide. For example, which metal oxide we had taken here, when magnesium burn in the air, that it forms magnesium oxide. When it reacts with the acid, that is HCl, what it forms, MgCl2 plus H2O is formed. This reaction is not balanced, only I am going to explain this. When metal oxide react with the what, acid, what it forms, that is the magnesium chloride plus water, otherwise sodium oxide, NaO. NaO. When it reacts with the acid, that is HCl, it forms what? Then NaCl, means our common salt that we are eating, and what it forms? The water. It forms the H2O. Okay, then sodium chloride and the water it forms. From this what we are understanding, that when metals, any metal react with the oxygen, it forms a metal oxide, and metal oxide when it reacts with the acid, it forms the sodium, the respected salt and the water. Now next it is the reaction with the acid. Take a dilute hydrochloric acid in a test tube. Take a dilute hydrochloric in a test tube. Then add zinc dust. To it. Take a glowing splinter near the mouth of the tube. What we have to do? We have to take the glowing splinter in the mouth of the test tube, and what happens? Observe the glowing splinter. What will you notice and which sound is coming? So for that I will explain you how is the chemical reaction. What we have to do here? We have to take one test tube. Suppose this is our test tube, and in this test tube inside we have to take some hydrochloric acid. This is hydrochloric acid, and in it we have to add the zinc powder. So after that what happens? Some bubbles are coming. Okay, and that bubbles, when we take the burning matchstick in above it, you will notice that gas which is coming out of this tube burns with the pop sound. That is, the gas burns with the pop sound. And which gas is there burns with pop sound? That is the hydrogen. And from this what we are understanding? When the metal reacts with acid, when metals reacts with the acid, what it forms? Zinc, their respected salt it forms, zinc chloride it forms, and plus which gas releases? That is H2 gas, means hydrogen gas is released, and that gas which is released by this in this process is burns with the pop sound. Means from this what we understood, that when the metal react with the acids, it forms the hydrogen gas. Okay, when metal. So here they told you most of the metal react with dilute acid to form the metal salts, while hydrogen gas is released. So from this reaction is written here, when metals are there react with acids, it forms the salt and the hydrogen gas. Understand? This is the fourth property. Now the E, that is the reaction with water. Most of the metals do not show any observable or fast reaction with the cold water. In cold water inside there is no reaction. But some metals like sodium and potassium, reacts with cold water. Sodium and potassium react with cold water and produces hydroxides. Means sodium hydroxide, means NaOH to NaOH. Okay. Otherwise, and sodium, the respected hydroxide, and releases hydrogen gas. Okay, magnesium metal requires steam to give the similar reaction. Means first of all, metals do not show any observable or fast reaction with cold water, but normal water is there. Metals react with normal water, or cold water. With cold water, who reacts? Sodium and the potassium reacts with the cold water, and they form their hydroxides, means sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. And magnesium metal requires the steam to give the similar reaction. Means magnesium reacts with steam water. Water means hot steam water with steam, and forms their respected hydroxide and releases the hydrogen gas. So these are the chemical properties of the which metals, which are we seen the electronic configuration. That is in the electronic configuration inside what we see, the outermost orbit have 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons. Second, formation of ions. Metals have a tendency to donate electrons, and due to this what happens, they forms their respected cations. Next, third property, we said that metals react with oxygen and they form their respected oxides, and that metal oxides when react with the acids, it forms salt and water. Then reaction with the acid. All metals are reacting with the acid and they form the hydrogen gas and the salt, respected salt it forms. And reaction with the water, cold water there is a no reaction, but in cold reactor who reacts, sodium and the potassium show the reaction and they form their respected hydroxide and releases hydrogen gas. And with this what happens, these are the properties of the chemical properties of the metals. Today we had seen only chemical properties of the metals, okay, and now the next, that is the non-metals properties, we will see tomorrow. Okay, so today we will stop here only. All of you note down all the properties in your notebook, okay, and send me. Okay, thank you and have a good day.